Hello, and welcome to 2026. Well, tonight we're just going to dive right in and work on some lamps. We're going to work on a metal halide lamp and a couple fluorescent lamps. And this lamp needs a new bulb put in. It also needs a couple wire nuts put on. The original bulb that came with this lasted 1.5 years, so that's pretty impressive considering who knows how long it was used. When it was in use. Most people won't even bother with these types of lights anymore, saying they use too much energy. Well, here we disagree. They don't use that much energy. You can actually run a pure mercury bulb with these lights. So eventually I would like to put a pure mercury vapor bulb in to see what it does, but mercury vapor bulbs are considered very non-energy efficient and are not as easy to find anymore. You can still buy the metal halide bulbs new. They use mercury and a combination of other things. So how this works is you have a ballast for the bulb and you have a capacitor that's your starter for the bulb. What we need to do is put some new connectors on these wires so that the light behaves itself. As you can see, the reason we have to replace these is because the plastic gets old and brittle. Luckily, we have a new pack. Closed-end connectors, nylon insulated. Compliments of Ace Hardware. You know, Ace is the helpful place. That should do the trick. This lamp was originally pitched for junk, but someone took the time and effort and care to get it up and running again. Makes you wonder, why would they throw it away? Gee, possibly could it be that we live in a throwaway society today? With not many people taking the time to repair things and just buy new? But when you buy new, are you buying better quality or worse quality? Another problem to visit at a later date is when mounting this thing, there isn't exactly much to go on here. Luckily, I have another lamp with the same connector that has plenty of material in there, so I don't have to piece together a jury rig job there. It's always annoying when you have leftover screws when you tear something apart and you don't know where they are, but you're like, well, if it works, it doesn't matter. The screw is a bit of a doozy when you're not using a wide enough screwdriver blade. It's going to be fun fishing that down through there. Anything rewiring takes more time than you want it to, really. But as long as you're thorough, and take pictures beforehand, etc., usually things turn out alright. Once in a while you might have a poof. So hopefully we don't have a poof in this situation. Don't want to get any finger oils on there just in case. As you can see, you have the vapor cartridge inside an outside bulb, glass bulb. So that way, if that one would break inside, it's not going to come out from blow the whole bulb apart. We're getting older. But these are so much nicer to use than a regular splicer. Alright, I guess it's time for the moment of truth. But we're going to plug it into a power strip just to be safe. This is another kids don't try this at home thing here. Do I really want to flip the switch now and see what it does? Maybe we should let the cameraman flip the switch.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll get a 10-foot pole and do it. It takes the bulb a while to charge up because it's got to charge the capacitor and then go into the ballast. We'll give it a little time to heat up. May have done something wrong, the bulb may not be in quite tight enough. Could also be that I didn't ground it. I can hear the bulb ticking, which is a good sign. We'll leave that plugged in for a bit and go work on another light. So the problem with this lamp is, to get it to work, every time that you plug it in, you have to twist the bulb. And it says that one of those problems can be a loose connection inside the lamp. So we're going to try and fix that. These terminals can be a pain in the butt to deal with if the wire sticks in the terminal. But we'll see what it does. Once in a while they do that. Alright, back to the kitchen. We'll see if this works. And that did not fix that. See, every time you want it to turn on, you have to twist the stupid bulb, which I should not have to do. Because that would kind of make it a pain to use when you had it wired up somewhere. Well, maybe we finally fixed it. Hey, I think we fixed it. But as soon as you move it, it may move the bulb, and then you'll have to figure out the perfect sweet spot again. But isn't that just such a pretty glow? That cool white. This is an F30 T12 bulb. The history of fluorescent light is quite fascinating, but we're not going to go into that. Needless to say, how a fluorescent light works is you have a filament at both ends, and the bulb is coated in a phosphor powder. So the current goes through the bulb, and what we see as light is actually the energy coming off of the powder from the current going through the bulb. Put it on the wrong wire. I put it on the 208 volt wire instead of the 120 volt wire. That'll do it to you every time. And we're going to cheat on this one. We're actually going to use a wire nut instead of crimping that. There we go. Now we'll crimp this. And we should be good. This is a broken off screw, so we're going to try and get it out of here. Now that we got that, I want to make sure that's in there good and snug, which it is. Now when we do fire this up, you don't want to be looking directly at it either, because it gets pretty bright. Here we go. It warms up and then it gets really bright. Ding, ding. So, funny story about this lamp. It used to be on the corner of the garage out there, and it was pointed up the driveway. So I was making a nice beam go up the driveway after dark. And there's a gentleman that mows the grass, and he mows the strips on either side of the driveway, and he's like, "Point that light down! It's making me blind when I'm trying to mow after dark!" Or when he would be mowing around dusk. But as you can see, the bulb is getting brighter. Yep, it's getting brighter. It's 175 watts of illumination. So you can see you don't really want to directly be staring into that. It's pretty bright when it fires up and warms up. Isn't that marvelous? They just don't make good light like that anymore. Well, if you stare at it for too long, it's probably going to blind your eye. And you just got to love the sound of that ballast. Well, we see we've come into 2026 with a light, illuminating, and a bang. Till the next time. Stick your fork in the outlet!
Why, thank you, Mr. Burkett. Now I know not to put forks in the outlet like a common sense person.
Remember, knowing is half